Professor Dr. Nguyen Thanh Sap, Vice President, Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics. Mr. Chan Van Ron, Chairman of the People's Committee of Vĩnh Long Province. Mr. Nguyen Ngọc Hoi, Vice Chairman of People's Committee of Thanh Hoa Province. Dr. Van Thi Hong, Deputy Director in charge of the Center for Research and Training of the Viet Nam Fatherland Front. Representatives from provinces across Vietnam, from the Fatherland Front, mass organizations, civil society organizations, and media. Excellencies and colleagues from embassies, international organizations, international and national non-government organizations, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I have accepted the invitation to say a few words on behalf of Switzerland at the occasion of the launch of PAPI 2014, and I would like to thank you for this opportunity. I have been asked to mention why the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, or SDC, has become a partner of PAPI, and I will also touch on some other points. SDC has been a committed partner to support the public administration reform, or PAR, in Vietnam. During the implementation of the PAR Master Plan 2000-2010, we noted that PAR was mainly the work of the government. We believed that PAR would be more effective if people, the target beneficiaries, could assess the performance of the government and provide their feedback. So when UNDP approached us on PAPI, we realized that PAPI is exactly the tool to make this idea happen, and so we did not need much convincing to join PAPI. Another reason for joining is that to give people a voice and engage citizens in decision-making is at the core of the political and administrative system in Switzerland. While most countries nowadays speak of decentralization, we have always put the lowest level of administration first. Only what cannot be done at the lowest level, with the participation of the local people and by locally elected officials, is moved one level higher. In this way, much of the administration, well, not all, mind you, remains close to citizens and by necessity has to be responsive to the needs of the people. When in 2011, UNDP asked SDC to come on board as a sponsor and partner of the PAPI venture, none of us could predict where the journey of PAPI would lead to. Today, your presence shows that PAPI has developed into a flagship for listening to what Vietnamese citizens say about their administration. It is a flagship that has attracted a high resonance among government organizations, the media, and also the international and diplomatic community. Having been part of the journey as donor representative and as a member of the PAPI Advisory Board, first and foremost, I would like to offer our deepest congratulations to the active forces on board the PAPI flagship, to UNDP as overall implementing agency, and to SECODES for organizing and conducting the annual surveys. Let us keep in mind that behind the annual PAPI report, there are 14,000 respondents from all provinces. There are 600 interviewers, plus coaches, trainers, analysts, report writers, etc. A huge enterprise that makes one of the biggest such surveys in the world possible. Last, and certainly not least, I would like to highlight the Vietnamese Fatherland Front. The VFF, in its role to supervise the activity of the government and the administration, serves as an invaluable umbrella and advisor to PAPI, and it is an essential contributor to the PAPI survey. The VFF has been of crucial importance in keeping PAPI sailing forward and weathering some storms. A group of members of the Swiss Parliament attended the 132nd Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union held in Hanoi 2 weeks ago. An event, by the way, that once more put Hanoi and Viet Nam on the map of international attention. We presented PAPI to the Swiss MPs, and I would like to share with you that they were impressed how Vietnamese people are given the opportunity to provide their assessment and their feedback on the performance of the administration. And they were also impressed by the sheer size of the venture and the methodological and analytical professionalism. Let me now turn to the PAPI results. As Pratibha has just said, PAPI is like looking into a mirror. The mirror that we call PAPI provides a fairly consistent image over the years. An image that is changing, but very slowly. Most of the 6 dimensions measured have improved a bit, but not much. There is some improvement regarding one issue, a bit of deterioration regarding another. In other words, despite all efforts for public administration reform, the citizens' assessment of the performance of the public administration has not changed much. Maybe public administration has not improved its performance. Maybe the citizens have become more critical in their assessment, or maybe both together. What is clear is that there still is work to do. This year, the next 5-year plan, the SDP, will be shaped. Also, the 5-year implementation of the PAR Master Plan for the period 2011-2020 will be reviewed. 2015 is therefore a golden opportunity to put the PAPI insights into plans for action. Permit me to just look at one issue of PAPI in a bit more detail. Our next speakers will inform us on the 6th dimension that PAPI surveys. For the present, it suffices to say that while the dimension public service delivery scores highest, it is the dimension participation at local levels that not only scores the lowest of all 6 dimensions, but it also scores lower every year, and its sub-dimension voluntary contribution is scoring lowest of all. This is worrying. In our cooperation with several Vietnamese provinces, we have found that enabling communities and communes to prioritize their needs in participatory planning processes and to provide decentralized funding to make possible the construction of prioritized infrastructure, such as irrigation channels, village roads, drinking water, kindergartens, etc., increases voluntary contributions in the form of land, labor, material, and/or cash, and it also generates excellent and cost-effective results. The participatory planning leads to a high level of ownership among the communes and communities, to more social cohesion, and it helps to strengthen the credibility and accountability of government, particularly at district and commune level. As mentioned, it is the time of planning the next 5 years. So why not strengthen the participatory planning backed up by funding at commune level, both in provincial budgets and in national targeted programs? We may recall that the Prime Minister in 2013 issued decision number 498 on the investment mechanism for the National Target Program New Rural Development. The decision stipulates that small-scale and simple infrastructure with a total budget of less than 3 billion Vietnamese dong can be decentralized to communes and communities. If this decision is implemented across the board, then we can make a safe bet that the PAPI indicator, participation at local levels, will score higher in 5 years' time. At the more general level, today we can confidently say that the PAPI survey and methodology ensures that its findings reflect the reality. Like in the previous years, the PAPI team will disseminate the 2014 findings in 8 regional seminars this and next month in all of Vietnam. It is encouraging to know that up to today, more than 20 provinces have followed up on the PAPI findings by organizing in-depth diagnostic workshops, trainings, and/or issued directives. Still, more emphasis could be placed on ensuring concrete follow-up implementation. PAPI will create a major impact only if the findings are used in policy formulation and monitoring. For this purpose, PAPI findings need to be even more widely disseminated, discussed, and transformed into action at both central and provincial level, among members of people's elected bodies for their use in fulfilling their oversight and supervision functions, among public servants for their use in improvement of service delivery and implementation of policies, among Viet Nam Fatherland Front for their use in compiling feedback and opinions of constituencies to the people's elected bodies and the party, and among mass organizations, civil society and research agencies for their use in policy advocacy. This will help Vietnam move forward on its path to public administration reform, and it will help ensure that the voice of the citizens expressed in the PAPI survey is heard and put into action. Thank you for your attention. All the best, health, success, and happiness.